It wasn't an exciting fight because it wasn't, but I was in awe of you watching a mastermind here. No.
And Lomachenko's elite.
I think he put George Kambosos in a shell after about the third round.
Round 5, he was really good.
And he did impress me this time, Loma.
Kambosos is a good fighter. He's a warrior, but
he's not
world class.
He has, I mean, his footwork is still immaculate.
Well, I think he's been good in all his fights.
I was just sitting there like...
Welcome back to BoxCast with special guest Simon. Today we're going to discuss the recent fight between Vasiliy Lomachenko and George Kambosos Jr. And then we'll do a little roundup of Devon.
Don't know what that was.
Just come on. I just clicked that off. City's got interested. And we'll finish with a little bit of a roundup of Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia and what we think of that, because there's been a few after-fight things happening in that, isn't there? Okay. Yeah, let's start with Lomachenko and Kambosos. What did you think?
I watched it live this morning.
Okay.
It's the Matrix, isn't he?
It's back.
I think we said it had...
Did it go as you expected?
Yeah. Yes and no.
In what way?
I think he put George Kambosos in a shell after about the third round. It looked like Kambosos was... I ain't gonna...
Will you see his corner like, throw?
He just every time he threw,
don't wait for him, throw.
He got counted, and I think he just put him in his shell.
Yeah.
I gave Kambosos 2 rounds, and I gave him the second and the sixth, and the sixth was being just generous because I thought.
Well, I've got the compy box, so we'll go into that, but I'll bring up my scorecard.
I mean, he started off really well. George Kambosos hitting the body, and Lomachenko was marked up on both sides.
Well, first round, I was given to Kambosos till about the last 40 seconds or something, and then Loma just hit him with enough punches where he's just taking it, but I've got close. Then I've given every round to Loma, 10-9, 10-9, 10-9. But the first round was close. Then I think Loma's just slowly stepped up, but he was just gradually pulling away. Round 4, he was really good. Round 5, he was really good. Then I think Kambosos got a bit of a second wind. So round 6, he got a bit closer like that. I think that's the round you gave him, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think you're being generous because I still give it to
I was being generous.
7 he tried, but then he had a little flurry, didn't he? And then basically every round. And then the 11th, obviously the stoppage. I think it was a knockdown on the first one.
It was a knockdown because I've seen Loma's reaction as well, like... And then when he slowed it down, he caught him with a beautiful left on the jaw. I think Loma realised that. I think Kambosos knew it was I think he was quite surprised it wasn't called a knockdown, because straight away his guard went right up, and that's why he was just well open to the body.
Yeah. I think he was just in shock, and Loma smelled the blood and then did what he usually doesn't do. But, well, he has done beat a low weight, but yeah.
No, I think Loma made a statement, and I think what I liked was, because I know you're a massive... I've never been a massive Loma fan. I've always respected him and thought he was absolutely fantastic. I thought he's always been a bit too showboaty in the ring. Hasn't gone through the gears quick enough, and hasn't finished fighters off when he should have done. He did that today. He didn't do any showboating. He went through the gears really, really well. And he was punching with authority. He
was putting, Well, I'll give you some numbers in it. So he started in the first round. Yeah, Kambosos had the 3, didn't he? He got the 2 body shots and I think one of the jabs in the first round where he was ahead. But he threw 28 punches. He only landed 3. Lomachenko threw 27, but he landed 7. Because like I said, he had that little bit near the end, which is why I gave him the round. But then he got a second round, he's landed 11 punches to Kambosos' 2. Third round, 14 to Kambosos' 8, which is where we said in it. Then fourth round, he landed 21 punches to Kambosos' 1. And then 20, 19, 18, 18, 17, 12 and 18. And like Kambosos has got 1, 2, 7, 5, 6, where we said 7 punches, then 5, 4, 5, 1, 2. So realistically, it's a demolition. It's a completely dominant performance.
Was a complete dominant performance.
And he started faster. Normally takes about 3 or 4. But here he sort of got from the second round.
Yeah,
into the first.
Basically, I think like from the third round on, it was just.
Here's the interesting one. Right, power punches. Right, so he threw total punches. He landed 175 out of 480. So he's about 36%.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Kambosos was 40 out of 371. So he's about just over 10%. Jabs, he's got 70 out of 270, and Kambosos landed 4 out of 182. So most of his punches, 105 power punches out of 210, 50%.
Yeah,
he was loading up.
Yeah, no, like you say, I thought quite early on in the fight he's loading up. I thought he wanted to stop him.
Yeah. He did it gradually. He didn't take over.
Yeah, but like I say, it was
he did go through gears of it.
Yeah, it was the no showboating. He got on with it.
It was professional performance.
It was a masterclass, and I think it showed the levels.
Well, we've always said Kambosos is a good fighter. He's a warrior, but he's not world class, and he's not really at the elite level.
No.
And Lomachenko's elite. Whatever anybody thinks and whatever, he's elite level. You can be good, bad, dislike him, but he's elite level. Yeah. And his boxing IQ is second to none.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just his age. I think there is a little bit of slowdown.
He has. I mean, his footwork was still immaculate. I spent a whole round just watching his footwork, the way he was just dancing in and out, little shuffles. Where
he'd hit him and he was over there.
Yeah.
And then hit him from there. And you could see Kambosos like, what the hell's going on?
Unreal. And like I say, after about the ninth or fourth, he's going to stop him.
Yeah.
And like I say,
well, I was at what you were saying, and I was thinking, is he going to put his foot to the pedal to the metal now because he can stop him here because he's worn him down now, both mentally and physically.
And his face was cut and
I thought, what is he going to just do as usual?
And like I say, that 11th round, if you watch it back, the slow-mo, the first knockdown, wasn't ruled a knockdown. It was a beautiful absolutely shot. Clear knockdown.
Yeah, it was a beautiful shot.
And like I say, as soon as he started fighting again, Kambosos basically his hands
high guard.
Yeah.
Well, that's the IQ, isn't it?
And it hits him to the body. Straight right in them solar plexus. And it's all
perfect.
There's not a lot of people that recover from body shots. There really, really isn't. Especially
he's brave to get up because I think the corner were looking at him like, should we get up? But they threw the towel in straight away.
Yeah, I mean, his dad's in the corner. Obviously his dad's not going to let him take too much.
Yeah. It is. I think it's a good call from the corner, good call from the Giroux.
Yeah. I think it was
over at that point.
It was over.
I think Kambosos knew as well because he didn't like.
Yeah. Because he'd been, like I say, he'd been buzzed to the head and the body.
Well, he had a few cuts and he was bloodied up quite a lot.
He had nowhere to go.
To be fair, he gave it a go. He started good with the body shots, but then he just wore. He tried again in about like the sixth round.
No, like I say, I think he went into a shell. He was just like, every time I try to throw a punch,
people who fight,
I'm getting 5 or 6 back. I mean, I think was it round 9 or 10? He caught him with like 5 jabs, one after the other.
He caught him with one good shot, didn't he? The body shot, I think. And he just went, bam, 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 and you're looking at it going, oh my word.
And I think the round before that, he caught him with a body shot and it hit hair. Kambosos, you seen him take a big gulp of air.
Well, he switched about then, didn't he?
Because he wasn't really targeting the body, Loma, was he?
Body shots are low, isn't it?
He'd done what the reverse of what boxers normally do, would target the body and then go to the head. Loma before, I'll target the head, now I'll go to the body.
Well, it's the one thing Kambosos actually won because he of his 36 power punches, which is most of his punches, 25 were to the body.
Yeah.
And Loma's was 17, and most of them were near the end, like
two or three rounds.
Just the 11th round anyway. The power punches. But he switched it, and when he go, oh, okay, you're trying to hit me to the body, let me show you how you do that properly.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like, if you look at it, like he's only got like 11 punches or so. 15 punches to the head. And well, I don't even think some hit the shoulder, didn't he? Because it was when Loma's moving, he's catching him on the shoulder on his pads.
Bruise on his eye, Loma, but let's be honest, it was just a masterclass. It was nice to see him back.
And the crowd completely silent other than chanting Loma. I was quite surprised.
Yeah, the crowd was
like 14,000,
15,000
15,000 people.
15,000, yeah, just under 15,000.
But to be fair, quieting them from the beginning, isn't it? There wasn't really
I think,
animosity.
you know what it is sometimes? I think, I was the same. It wasn't an exciting fight, because it wasn't, but I was in awe of you watching a mastermind here.
It's a technical masterclass.
I was just sitting there like, wow. And he did impress me this time, Loma. He has impressed me in the past, but he really impressed me.
Well, I think he's been good in all his fights. The thing gets me, I know there's a lot of controversy of his fights. The way I look at it is this: when it's a close fight, normally if you've got like that thing in you want to have a rematch because you want to go, no, wait a minute, I won that. I'm going to show you. Well, you might have won on decision. Nobody wants to rematch him. I mean, to be fair to Kambosos, at the end, he just said, yeah, this is one of the best fighters of all time. So,
and you know what? You know,
for all his bluster at the beginning beforehand, which we were
the thing is Kambosos will tell you, if he gets beaten by the better man, he got beaten by the better man. And
to be fair to him, got to give him respect.
He won't, you can't knock him for that.
It was a masterclass.
It was a masterclass.
You're up against an elite, one of the highest boxing IQs there is. Of all time, probably.
There were a few questions that, he's, Loma's 36 now, been out of the ring for a year. I know
he's definitely a bit slower than
I know his defeat to Devin Haney mentally took so much out of him. I know they were talking about it was due to because he promised his son he'd phone him and say, I'm the new, and it didn't work out for him. And you could tell his emotion at the end of the fight.
Well, it's hard to take if you win and you get cheated.
Yeah, it was for undisputed, wasn't it?
And that's always been his aim. And I think that was the right point. And I think he probably retires after that. And now he's had to continue to do it.
Yeah, I don't know where. He's got to...
Well, let's go on to the problem is this time round. All right, Kambosos, we expect to beat. Most people expect him to win. But you've got I think Tank Davis is fighting.
The belts are tied up with fights now.
And Shakur's going to fight for one, isn't it? So
yeah, the WBA.
You've got some good fights.
The WBA,
and Navarrete, I think, is going to be in one, isn't it?
The WBA. So
you've got some really, really good fighters.
You've got Shakur Stevenson, who's WBC, Gervonta Davis, WBA.
Yeah.
IBF's now Loma, and the WBO is vacant.
Well, I think they're saying Navarrete is going to fight for it, or one of them, somebody.
Yeah.
And they're all really, really good fighters. And younger than he is. So.
Gervonta Davis, Shakur Stevens.
Younger Lomachenko, I think. But I think...
Did you watch his post-fight interview?
Well, yeah. He was like, I'm going to go back to my family.
Yeah, he didn't talk about...
contest
what's next or undisputed. And I was just sitting there thinking, is that it?
I think there'll be a bit more.
But
it depends who you're up against, isn't it? Who you're going to fight.
Because, like I say, he's 36. He's going to want, if he wants undisputed, he ain't going to, he's
only going to fight for a belt.
Yeah, he's not going to fight his mandatory, which will be, I think it'd either be Keyshawn Davis or Willie Zepeda. One of them. And he's not going to...
But there's some good fighters that way.
Yeah,
it's a tough contest. He is capable of beating them all.
Yeah, but if he's got his heart...
But it's a training camp and how long is going to be tied up?
I think Canelo and Inoue and Crawford have set a trend, haven't they, of become undisputed. If that's the case, it's going to take him another 2 years because the belts are all tied up. And then he's, 38? Father time don't wait for no one, does it?
Well, if there were boxers like this level, yeah, he can beat them. But you got, like I said, it's Gervonta Davis who's got power. I think the only way you beat Lomachenko, you're not going to outbox him, is if you've got power.
Yeah, no, you're not going to outbox him.
But then you've got like a Shakur Stevenson who can box, and has got the
and
tools.
I'd say Shakur Stevenson's a bit quicker than Loma.
Yeah,
quicker hands, not quicker feet.
Yeah, nobody's got quicker feet.
No. Although I'd say, do you know what I'd say?
Other than that,
I'd say Loma hasn't got the quickest hands. I know people might
he did have, but I don't think it's as quick
people
as
might disagree with that. I think it's because he was putting a lot more power into it.
I think he was loading up today,
Yeah.
Well, he had a couple of combos. Well, like the 5 jabs, you've seen his speed. Because he basically backed them off for 5 jabs after a punch. He was like, wait, you're punching me? And then there's a round one where I think Kambosos caught him with a jab or something, or a punch. Was it body shot? Or I think it was a punch high up. And then he had like a 4 or 5 punch combo and just completely turned it around and boom, 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 boom. Where you could see the speed because he landed them before Kambosos could do anything. He's got the speed, but obviously it's not. I don't think it's as quick because if you watch some of his early videos, when he's younger, and then maybe a lighter weight as well. He is ridiculously fast.
He's 36.
Yeah.
It's old.
So it's whether he adopts, but he didn't look out of place in size here.
No, he didn't.
Because I was a bit concerned that Kambosos might be, because obviously he's more that weight than Loma is.
Oh, Tank. I mean,
the problem is Tank Davis is quick. He's got quick hands and he's got
quick,
power.
Did Tank Davis
because he backs off,
isn't
it? So maybe if it comes out, but then he can catch you with a punch. I think Loma outboxes him, but he can catch him.
Yeah, Tank called him out.
Shakur is fast, can box at that thing.
But they're all tied up.
Yeah. Well, no, but they're all going to have to get a belt, aren't they? Because Shakur's got to either defend or take the belt.
Yeah.
Because all the belts are out, in it, and then Tank's got to do his and get the belt or defend the belt. Because he got Frank Martin, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fight. And I think then it's whoever goes after him, who they go at.
I mean, Bob Avram and Aegis, the promoter and manager of Loma, they're pretty good. And they will get him.
It's if he wants to fight. It's like you said, if he says now that that's enough for retired as world champion, then I wouldn't say there's anything against him. But I think there will be a bit. It depends what happens if they get the fight, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's how many of them you're going to fight, isn't it? So, and you probably there's still another belt if you got Navarrete and all of them are really, really.
Thing is,
there'd be huge fights.
And I know I always mention it, but the Saudis come knocking again. Anything's possible, isn't it?
Yeah.
But no, I think for George,
could you see him beating any of them?
I don't think he comes back. I hate saying it because it's a man's career, but I don't see him challenging for worlds. He might get lucky and challenge for a world title for. I don't think he'll ever be a mandatory again.
Well, do you think he beats any of those people?
No, he doesn't.
Doesn't beat Tank Davis. Doesn't
beat any of them. I think
even a Keyshawn Davis, I think, is too good for him. He looks quite handy.
It's his third defeat now.
You've got to have the power, and I don't think he's got the power. If you've got power, you've got a chance.
I think he's got underrated power, to be fair. I just think
he's got quick hands.
He has got quick hands, and I think the fight against...
I think he can hurt the other guy, but I don't think he's a one-punch knockout artist.
I think the fight against Maxi Hughes, I think, showed that he's not...
He's not a big puncher.
I think he's on the downslide already in his career.
Well, my look at it is like this. He's a good boxer. He's probably a very good boxer, but I don't think he was ever world level. He's caught Teofimo at a bad time. Teofimo wasn't really there, and they had the perfect game plan and pulled it off. I think against anybody else who's actually like elite level, like Haney, like Lomachenko or anybody else, I think he's a bit short, and that's just been shown up. Not against him. I just don't think he's that level.
Yeah,
he's good level. I don't think he was. I think against Teofimo was just a anomaly.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It was a great performance against Teofimo.
I mean, we were quite happy that he beat him, but I'll be honest. But
I don't see where he goes from here. I really don't.
I don't think he can go to the world level, and he's not going to get back to being undisputed unless all these guys give up the belt and go. So the only chance really is if Loma goes, I've had enough now.
Even then,
but then there'll be somebody else. The mandatory will be somebody else.
There's a lot of young up-and-comers in that lightweight division.
This weight division's loaded. This and 140 are both tasty.
Yeah. So, I think Loma stays at lightweight.
I don't think he can go more than that. I think he's already overstretched.
Chase the belts down.
I mean, I'd love to see him against Tank and Shakur.
Yeah, I would. It'd be a great fight, big spectacle.
Because either it's a passing of the torch or it's the he shows that, wait a minute, I've still got it. And I think either of those could happen. It'd be good fights. Fully fit, if he's on it like that and he goes on it, I think, and then against anybody gives him a good fight.
What I will say is that, for George Kambosos, he's fought some tough fighters, and you
got to give him respect that he doesn't back down.
He really
this
doesn't.
Guy is the thing.
If you look at he's fought Teofimo, Haney, Maxi Hughes, who's a bit of a question mark, and then Loma. It's not a bad 5-fight run, is it?
It's not bad. He hasn't backed down. You got to give him that.
No, he hasn't backed down.
And then Haney, it's even a rematch, so he hasn't given up on.
He's fought his heart out. He's made some good money. I reckon he's made it because.
Well, they sell out the crowd.
The two Haney fights were in Australia, and from what I heard, Haney didn't get a lot of money for them.
No, especially the first one.
The Maxi fight was in Australia. The Loma fight was in Australia.
So he's made a bit of dollar.
Yeah, he's made a few quid, hasn't he?
Yeah, so good for him.
He's never backed down. He's always talked a good fight. But yeah, I wouldn't like to see him become like a gatekeeper for these young.
I think he's better retiring at it because he's peaked at his career, beaten Teofimo, and now you're only going to go decline.
Because you can never take because he was
he's undisputed champion.
Yeah, and you can never take that away from him. He'll go down in history.
It's a fantastic game plan. He pulled it off.
So
yeah, I think that's probably a good time. And Lomachenko's up to him. If he's got the hunger still to go after, I think he's capable of doing
that's what I think it is with Loma, isn't it? It's hunger.
And it's how he balances out his training. Do you not get injured? Because if he gets injured and it's another year, 6 months a year, his stage is getting there. I think he's got if over the next year, over the rest of this year, if he can get another fight next year, stay busy and keep it going, I think go after him, try unify is obviously the next thing, and then look at the others.
Yeah, I think the only fight is to unify. It's the only fight I want to see him in.
Yeah. I don't think there's no point of him fighting anybody because it's just going to be like that one-sided beatdown. It's no point.
And I think he needs, because I think he was a little bit wary of George Kambosos.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he needs
he's
that
a height and reach advantage.
I think he needs
Kambosos,
that wariness to bring the best out of him.
Yeah.
I think when he's uncomfortable, that's when he's at his best. That's when he's focused.
Well, I think he goes through the gears then, innit? He switches and goes through the gears and goes up.
No, I made up he won. It's good to see him back. I'm really pleased, and yeah, it was a bloody good performance. It was an absolute masterclass.
Yeah, it's a statement, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I'm here.
And it will make Shakur Stevenson. I mean, I think, like I said, Gervonta Davis was straight on Twitter, calling him out. It's easy to do on Twitter, isn't it, mate? Yeah,
you can beat anybody on Twitter.
I know. I think that's what Bo Abram said. He said, "Yeah, well, I'll call that Mike Tyson, but it's on Twitter."
That's not the same thing as being in the ring with him.
No. So, yeah, let's see what.
And you've got to give it up because I don't think Kambosos has never been KO'd,
never been stopped.
He's never been stopped. I think he's only been knocked down once already.
Teofimo that knocked him down.
Yeah. That was the only time he's been. So he's a warrior. You got to give him respect. So it's a really good performance.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there was any issue in his training camp. I don't think there's any issue in his preparation.
No,
I think he like he said, he gave the best of his best.
Yeah, he said his training camp was absolutely fantastic. So
should we see who else we got? All right, so we're going to do.
It was great.
Okay, we're a bit late to this one, but then should we do a bit of as we mentioned a couple of names, Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, as there's been a bit of after stuff. So, first of all, I think on the fight, what did you think? Or the fact that, let's start on the first bit, the weigh-in, him coming in 3 pounds too heavy, and his shenanigans before the fight.
Itself was just like...
First of all, I'm glad that he wasn't actually crazy. I think we both said that. It'd be good to see him being. I think he pulled off a bit of a trick there.
I still don't know where. I still do think he is a little bit crazy.
Well, I think they've said that some of it may not be that far from there, but
just regarding the weigh-in, as a professional sportsman, whether some people are saying it was or it wasn't, whether it wasn't beer or not, you do not go on the scales and drink a beer in front of the world because it's just such a bad.
It's so unprofessional. It's not even.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, it wasn't beer. They've said afterwards, and it was just
but
just the fact that you're doing it is.
You got young kids and people that are looking up to you that idolise you.
He's a role model. You can be
and it's just so disrespectful to the
other
sport.
stuff I don't mind so much, but I think that you're in a professional contest, it's disrespectful to everybody, your opponent, the sport, everything else.
Secondly, he looked like a bloody middleweight.
He was in good shape.
He looked massive, absolutely huge. The fight itself.
Well, just a thing on the weight. They've said afterwards, innit? Devin Haney was actually heavier because he was like he was against Prograis at 160 plus, and Garcia actually wasn't that heavy afterwards. But I think a little bit of the hydrationing does take a bit out of you. Because he wasn't that much bigger on the fight, whereas you could see Haney had gone back up.
I don't know.
And Haney was heavier on the actual fight night when they did the after
Who
hydration.
said that? Oscar De La Hoya?
No, I think they've got the weights, isn't it? Because he's normally more than 160, isn't it? I thought that anyway. I thought Haney looks like he's just as big on the thing. Because against Prograis, he was 168 pounds.
Yeah.
He rehydrated too.
I don't know. He just looked massive, Ryan Garcia, to me. He looked.
I mean, I think it's, from my point of view, I think the unprofessionalism on doing it, because if he'd have been on the weight and then he's gone back up, it's, you're a professional boxer, you're an athlete, you know how to get to weight. They're not like, you've got everybody professional. It's not like you couldn't. Why he's done it doesn't make sense. Other than realistically, he can't, without killing himself. But I don't think it's enough excuse to say that he was bigger on the night, because he wasn't. So bigger in like heavier on the night. Bigger, well, obviously he did look big. But go on, aside from that, the fight.
To that.
Yeah, let's say the fight.
The fight itself. It was a weird fight.
I just look at my scorecard while you're talking.
Absolutely weird fight. I think Garcia, he caught Haney quite early with a shot, and I don't think Haney really recovered from it. It was in the second round. Because Haney didn't look like the Haney. I mean, I had Haney winning most of the round, apart from the round that he got knocked down in, to be honest.
Well, I had Haney with the first four, and the second one was close. Although, if I look at CompuBox, the first one was close. There was six. Well, actually, first one, Garcia actually landed more punches. He got 9 to Haney's 6. Garcia threw more, because he started quite well. But I think Haney got a bit of better. Well, I got Haney winning the round. 1, 2, 3.
It was
4,
like Garcia
5,
was
6,
just waiting to catch him through the whole fight, to be honest.
Yeah.
And tell you
second round was clearly Haney's. Third was close, equal-ish. Fourth was Haney's, and then I think that's when Garcia started catching him a bit. So you've got like the 6th round he out threw him, the 7th round he out threw him, 8th round just was close, but he was ahead. 9th went back to Haney, which I think but then it was the knockdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6th was a knockdown as well, wasn't it? So yeah, and then what else have we got? The 10th round is back to Haney. 11th is Garcia. Sorry, 11th is Garcia, and then 12th is quite close, but Garcia again. So.
I mean, Haney did well to get up from the knockdowns, to be fair to him, because they were heavy knockdowns. But
one way of looking at it, if you look at like you said, he was chasing the punches, because you got 42 jabs for Haney and 11 for Garcia, whereas you got 95 power punches from Garcia to 45 for Haney.
Yeah, like I say, it just seemed like Garcia was just waiting to land that one big shot.
Why would you be overweight and stuff? That's what you're going for, isn't it? I think that was the game plan all along. So I think the scorecards actually, the middle one is probably the correct one then, based on...
I remember seeing the scorecards. I mean,
112, 112, 114, 110, and 115, 109. 1, 2,
I think
3,
I had
4,
it a bit closer
5,
than
6,
that.
7,
Yeah, was it 115, 113? Like I say, I give Haney most of the rounds, to be fair.
Well, I think near the end, Garcia, mine's quite similar to there, other than the first few rounds, where I've given them all to Haney, but actually one of them probably should have been Garcia's and one of the others should have been the other way around. But I have a 1, 2, 3... Yeah, mine's probably 114, 110-ish.
No, I think
because the knockdowns.
Yeah, I mean, Haney...
I think it was basically a draw.
Yeah, Haney's the better
and then
boxer.
The knockdowns with three
Haney was the better boxer. But yeah, again, he didn't look great, Haney, either, to be fair.
I think with the skills, they were actually quite close. I don't think it was... But different game plan. Haney tried to outbox him, and I think Garcia was going for the... Because Garcia did it in bursts. He like he was having a rest. Then rest. Rest.
But then I suppose we better come to this massive elephant in the room.
Yeah, go on.
Ryan Garcia failing 2.
But he's been cleared.
VAR tests. Who's he been cleared by?
Well, they said in it, they've done the one that they do after, and he's actually clear, so it wasn't... So he isn't actually cheating, allegedly, whichever way it goes.
So...
the last one that the one they do afterwards, the double check one, I think it's been cleared.
The way the VAR testing works is basically it's one sample split into 2, an A and a B. So it would be a urine sample, and it's split into 2 jars, and then they test the A sample, which come back positive... Was it the day before the fight and positive the day after the fight? And what you're saying now is they've tested the B sample and it's negative.
Yeah, for whatever the stuff was supposed to be in it.
But
he tested negative for the nandrolone metabolite, the one they do in the after one.
I don't get it.
Well, what they're saying is, before the results come quite quick, although they're saying they were later, whatever. But he goes, their side is basically that they come quite fast. Why didn't they do it like sooner? But then they're saying
it's a strange one. So he has been cleared. It's strange. So on April the 19th, he tested positive for osterone, but also showed banned PED, which is 19 norandestrone or something, and needed more testing to be confirmed. Which VARDA did, and there is no third test failure. A billionth of a gram was found in his system.
Yeah, so I think there's a bit of both. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and see what happens going forward.
I mean, I'm not...
I mean, if he has, then
I don't know.
It's bad. But you don't know from there because they're saying the guy who does it is heavily one-sided, heavily biased, shall we say? That guy who released it, Raphael, is connected to the things. And if you look at some of their past history, it's a bit shady, past what things he's done.
Blah, blah,
and then
blah.
he's come out. Yeah, it's just talk.
Whether, at the end of the day, he failed a drugs test. Okay, he's cleared his name now, so we've got to take it as gospel that there was nothing in there. He can resume his boxing career.
But do you think he needs to go weight, really? If he can't make the weight,
if he can't make the weight, you go up.
147. I think he's called out. Oh, they had some shenanigans with Errol Spence.
Errol Spence is finished, to be honest, in my eyes.
But well, that's what he said. He goes, what did he say? Crawford nearly finished it. Let me finish the job. I'll sort you out.
I mean, he's the gold. I mean, now unfortunately that if he hadn't failed the drug test, he's the face of American boxing. He is, and the world was his oyster. He's always going to have that little shadow over him now with that.
Well, I think it's on his next fight. If he acts properly and gets a good fight, and if he goes to 147 and he beats the likes of him or whoever, somebody, I think it's gone then, isn't it? depending on what he does next. I think at the moment there's a little shadow that he's got to get rid of. But he's got enough support, I think enough following, he's big enough name.
And I don't know who we...
And if you take all that out, it was a fantastic performance.
Was a fantastic performance.
It's a game plan. They played the game plan, and I think their game plan outdid Haney's game plan.
Yeah,
I think they outthought them and they outfought them.
I mean, Haney's still got a massive future. He's he can.
Well, he's still got the belt, so he's going to be there.
He can go and fight. Garcia, I'd say, move up, mate. Obviously, you can't make that weight. 3.5 pound over is a lot.
Yeah. Go properly and do 147, do welterweight. And there's a division there that's got room because obviously Bud's moved up. So there's some
there's some big fights at 147.
There's Ennis is there.
Eddie Hearn's already offered him Boots Ennis.
He's trying to offer him to everybody, isn't he?
Eddie Hearn, Boots Ennis is
We're fans of Eddie Hearn, but some of his predictions and his things, bias in some of his predictions is ridiculous. Have you seen some of his things?
I love him. Love it.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, he is promoting his fighters, so you got to give it to him.
And he's not going to say, "Oh, my fight is going to get knocked out in 3 rounds," is he? But
I think both of them got. Haney will carry on with his thing, and I think Garcia needs to go up the weight. If you can't make the weight, then go proper weight. Don't be playing these games. Once is fair enough. You get away with it. You've done it. Yeah, you made your point. Now get on to fighting Gecko. To be fair, though, he says, I'm impressed with him because he made his money on that bet, 2 million or whatever.
I mean, it was a big thing on this. Why is it that footballers aren't allowed to make bets
on themselves?
But boxers can. And you know what? It's right, innit? They shouldn't actually be allowed.
If you make a bet on yourself to lose, then that shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, but
someone
was saying on TalkSport, if you say to the guy in the other corner, look, I put a mil on myself at 20-1 that I'm going to win on points, I'll go a horse with you.
Yeah, there's a lot to it, innit?
Let me have a think about that. No, I think sportsmen betting on themselves should be banned in all sports, to be honest. Definitely should be banned in all sports, but that's a topic.
Well, I think you'd make one rule for whatever it is, but I mean, still, I respect him for doing it. Well done.
Yeah,
he fooled everybody and pulled it off. Happy days.
He fooled me. I was disappointed he won.
I respect you for that. That's good.
I was disappointed he won. I think his shenanigans.
But you're a bit of a Haney fanboy, so let's.
It's not just that. I think his shenanigans before the fight, the stuff at the weigh-in, I didn't like it.
Well, to be honest, I thought he was going to lose, but I've watched the fight. I'm actually quite happy that he won. It was quite good. For the performance, he pulled it off.
I'm not a fan of Oscar De La Hoya either, so...
Well, yeah, I don't think we're either of us. For his shenanigans, we're neither fans of him. We'll get on to a bit of that in our next video.
But no, well done to him. Like I say, he is the face of American boxing. But do yourself a favour, kid. Knuckle down, work hard, and you could be an app. I mean,
he can't do
you're
the
a
same
superstar.
Shenanigans again. He needs to be professional.
He is a superstar now, but he could be an absolute global star if he knuckles down.
Well, if he goes to 147 and beats one of the names there, Spence or Ennis or whoever it is, he can. It looks like he's got the toolkit to do it.
Yeah,
he's already got the name and following. Then he's the
for Devin Haney. I mean, there's still loads of fight out there for Devin Haney.
Haney's got loads of 140. I think he sticks at 140. I don't think he goes up from 140. He sticks at 140. He looks good there. And to be fair, he put on a good performance. Like you said, it was close other than the knockdowns. I think the knockdowns is what turned it in Garcia's favour because they're 10-8. So you've got 6 rounds in one, and then Garcia did win a few of the other rounds. So...
would you want to see a rematch?
What weight?
Even playing field.
So,
let's make it a catch weight. Me and you, the promoters. Let's make it
143,
143,
or 145, whatever.
I think 143 is a good shout.
Well, both of them you could probably do because, like you said, Haney's always heavier anyway. So instead of cutting ridiculously, if they do a 147 or whatever it is weight, I think it'd be a good fight. But if I was Garcia, I'd probably want to do it. If I'm Haney, I'm maybe not.
See, I do. I know. I think it'd be the other way around.
You think Haney wants to do?
Yeah.
To get
Garcia doesn't.
I don't think Garcia needs to. But he's already offered it. He's already offered them a rematch.
Garcia can't pull his crazy antics again.
Yeah, it won't be the same tricks.
Because, and I do think he got in a bit of Devin Haney's head. like you say,
I think they bamboozled. I don't think just him. I think it his father as well. I think his corner. They bamboozled him.
Even before the bell, even when the bell went, I thought this fight still might not happen. Garcia could just go, nah, I'm not doing it. And like you say, best actor in the world, or actually is crazy. Either one, fair dues to you.
I suspect it's a bit of both.
But he's not,
you can't do it again. That's a one-time trick.
As a boxer, he's superb, and I have always rated him as a boxer. Mm-hmm. But as a person, I think you're very, very, very disrespectful to the sport. And show yourself as a role model, mate, because you are a face of boxing now. So prove that you're a face of boxing.
Well, he needs to be professional in his next one, innit? So yeah, rematch would be quite good because, like you said, it was close, so it was going to be good. But I think then Haney's going to be wary of the power now, and he can get caught by him because he basically caught him with the same shot loads of times.
Yeah, and like I say, I know,
and he timed it, and he had the power on it perfectly, and then he switched only at the end when to bamboozled him. So it was a good. As a pure boxing performance, it was a good performance from both fighters.
Yeah, good spectacle. Good spectacle.
It was exciting. Well, I think it was exciting because it wasn't what anybody expected to happen. I think that's what made it really a good spectacle.
It was one of that where
nobody expected that to happen.
No, it was very strange. Very strange. But that's boxing, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they could easily have a rematch. I think they probably both need to have another fight. I think Haney maybe not, but I think Garcia needs to have a proper fight and decide what weight he's going to do. If he's going to stick there, then he needs to make weight. He can't do his 145, or go up.
He needs to live the life of a boxer, not a bloody party animal.
Influencer. That he is.
Yeah.
The problem is, I think when you've got that much following and fame, he's making that the amount of money he's making, he's always going to be a bit of both. It's hard to go just be there. But I think if he wants to fight properly, he's got to be professional in boxing. That's what all the best are.
It'll catch up with him, and it'll catch up with him quickly.
Yeah, there's too many other good fighters of both weights that are you going to, if you're not taking it seriously, your tricks aren't going to work more than once or twice. So, yeah, he needs to knuckle down. But that's his choice.
Yeah.
And Haney, I think, will just be there, stick 140. There's a lot for him to do, so I don't think he loses anything. Okay, Doug. Anything else on that? No, I think that's it.
No, don't want to talk about that one anymore, ever again.
Shout out to Ryan Garcia. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe. Let us know your comments in the thing of both fights. What do you think is the Matrix back? What do you think is going to happen to Kambosos? And then, the thoughts on Haney and Garcia shenanigans.
I don't want to hear your thoughts on Garcia.
I want to know. And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.